What could be the best thing since sliced bread? I'd say disrupting the bread industry itself. And one tech guy did exactly that. From making the healthiest bread in the Middle East, a product that has taken the health and wellness food market by storm, to now bringing AI into baking. Believe me when I say this, my next guest, Dr. Yaser Akkad, CEO of Reef Bakery, has a lot up his sleeve. I'm Jeremy Savory. Welcome to the CEO Hack, a show where we uncover the best success hacks from industry leaders around the world. Yaser, how does someone with a degree in IT end up being a master baker?
Oh, well, thank you, Jeremy, for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here with you today. It's a very interesting question because I got it a lot. Number one, when I started my career and my business with IT, it was a opening doors for me to see the world, to see how the technology is moving, and to get me the experience of how to utilize the technology. And on the other hand, I found most of the entrepreneurs are going into a more technology innovations, which is the world today is full of new innovations and full of dreamers of a unicorn. However, at a certain point of time, I was thinking of the basics and I looked at something that we use every day, and I found the bread has not been touched for many centuries. And that is probably an interesting story because if you think about the bread, bread is just the oldest piece of the meal in every culture almost. It's from 4,000 years, probably 5,000 years. But if you look at it, it got two major milestones. The number one milestone is when I mean the industrial revolution has come, and thanks for the Americans to make the bread making, and then that revolution was really making the bread affordable and everywhere and stuff like this, and especially they innovated the sliced bread. I mean, that's everywhere. The second revolution that bread has been through is the oil revolution. When the oil comes through and it becomes available in the whole world, there is some chemicals and some other ingredients that used in the bread process making, and it makes the bread more tasty, more, but that's not healthy. And when I looked at it, I found that a lot of innovations and endeavors to enhance the diet and healthy meals everywhere, but I don't think people are touching the bread. And the reason is bread is not more than 15% of your meal. Think about it, Jeremy. I mean, you eat a wrap. I mean, how much is the bread according to the ingredients? You have your meal, and the bread is just short. A small portion of that, and that is the second motivation for me. Why nobody has looked at it? And when I start digging deep into this, I found that the bread itself it's a challenge because simple ingredient is not easy to make, and that's why people are not into this. Number two is I looked at how the old people has been doing the baking at home, and that's one of our slogan is getting back to your to grandma's way of, because I think 100 years back, 200 years back, there were no machinery revolutions. There is no chemicals, and people were doing the bread. And then we looked at that and we found that we can do it. But the challenge was, is it tasty? And that is what we found. I found as an entrepreneur the lack in the market. So there is a healthy bread probably available in Europe, in the States, and even in this region, but it's not tasty. So we worked it out and we did a lot of research to make it tasty, and we were extremely successful in make a balance between the three main pillars of the bakeries. It's a healthy, it is diet, it's a nutrition, and it's tasty.
So what you've done is you've taken all the degrees that you've obtained in your life. So you've done two masters and one PhD, but all of that has trained your brain to become extremely analytical in the environment of information technology. But what's happened is you've met your business partner, your baker, and then gone, hold on a minute, how can we apply this to bakery? Because bakers have not really gone that way, and people in IT have never really looked this way. And you've gone, hold on a minute, the world is changing. The industrial revolution and mass market, mass production has not made bread any better for us. It's made it less healthy, essentially. And you've tapped into the cultural shift where everyone has been extremely health conscious, more than we've ever been for centuries, forever actually, in fact. And what's happening is you're saying, well, hang on, people know that it's a key, it's between 15 and 50% if you're eating just a bread sandwich, right, which everybody's getting on the go. And so much of that just needs to be focused on to be healthy. And then now you've got complete distribution in the Middle East. Everybody is buying your bread. You open up factories in how many countries now?
Thank you. Basically, we have 3 production facilities as of today. We have one in Jordan, we have one in Dubai, and we have one in Egypt. And sooner will be 2 more factories, one in Qatar and one in Germany.
But your clients are everywhere.
Of course, most of the GCC countries, we ship to Europe, we ship to the States, and
You're shipping
Austria.
to the States.
Of course.
People are ordering bread from Dubai.
Correct.
From the States.
Correct. And we have many clients, in fact, in the UK, in the States, in Canada, in Australia. Yes, we do.
But when you're doing this, like I can tell that I know how popular your bread is, because I know already in my own office I got 2 of my guys who are eating your bread, and one of them, she's my HR manager. She lost 36 kilos, and she credits a lot of that down to your bread. And then when I saw this, I was like, hold on, that's my friend. I know that guy. And she was like, really, I didn't know this, but she swears by your bread. And I've got another person as well, not so extreme, but she also does it. So I can understand why you were giving out so many free samples with all the delivery companies, because the customer retention cost for you must have been pretty high, but the customer retention cost was very low, but the customer acquisition was very high. So you just took the hit at the beginning, but now people have bought in. I mean, if you can lose 36 kilos and credit that to your bread, that person's a loyal customer for life.
One of the important aspects of our product range is the balance between healthy and diet. And there is a huge confusion in here. I mean, let me tell you one thing which is very important. When people looked at a diet product, they look at the calories, the carbs, and all the nutrition facts. But I don't think they look deep into ingredients, because ingredients is very important.
Can be manipulated.
Exactly. Because, I mean, to give you really a healthy product, it has to be a combination between nutrition and the ingredients. And we are very proud that our bread and our all the product, even the new product, the launching product that we have today, is with no sugar and no oil at all in the whole process. Any bakery which has more than 5 items in the ingredients, most likely it's not healthy. So if you look at our product today, ingredient cannot be more than 5 items, which is very simple and healthy.
What I find interesting, very interesting, is that although today you've got all these factories opening, everybody knows your bread, people swear by it and are referring by your friends, and you've got all this growth everywhere, you're opening up in new distribution centers. I think you were telling me that your annual growth is over 100% per year.
Correct.
But it wasn't like that in the beginning. Your timing of starting this business couldn't have been worse. Tell us about that.
Well, basically, when I started this business, first of all, you talk about the shifting, and the shifting is not easy from an IT to really a manufacturing and entrepreneur in the bread business. and that was it took a time and adaptation from myself just to do the shifting. But that was I mean, at that time I came to Dubai, and of course Dubai is just the best place to start here. um, uh, I mean, probably it's an interesting saying. My mother used to say, I mean, you go to Egypt, you find Egyptians. You go to UK, you find English. You go to any place, you find. But in Dubai, you find everyone, and that is a very important aspect when I started it in Dubai, because I found every nationalities, and they can taste the bread, and I can get the user experience and enhance my business. So I've chosen Dubai. I came here. I start investing in the production facility, and I start preparing everything. And then COVID came. Oh my God! During COVID, I think I'm like everyone. We got the shock, and we were not expecting that it's gonna last more than 1 month, 2 months, probably three. But I mean, we went through the whole shutdown. We were locked. We couldn't really continue. At that time, I mean, let me. A bad voice came to my mind. Okay, why don't you just go back to what you used to do? Because I mean, you see, I mean, there is even COVID has stopped. But I mean, it couldn't stop me, to be honest. And that is one thing which is I am so proud of it, that okay, during these crises, if I may say,
Well, tell us, when you say the crisis, what exactly happened? So what, the factory was, the workers couldn't work, they were banned from the site, you've got your business plan and you've got your expectations of growth. How much money we talking about? How badly affected were you?
When COVID came, we were about to start the, I mean, fit out of the factory, bringing the machines in. So we haven't started the production, but the thing is, all the staff and the machines were on the way. There is no worker. We couldn't continue. Even the contractor who has been appointed just to do the fit out and preparation, it just cannot continue. And we had to stay away from our facility for a year almost. We couldn't touch it even because of the lockdown. The hit was really millions. I mean it, in millions. So even we couldn't continue the license because the license need to be the fit out to be finished, to be investigated by the municipality and everything. So I mean nothing. We could not do anything. I think the idea of quitting was coming very often, especially in the first 3 months when. But I mean, I think I was very motivated, not only from a business perspective, but from launching a new innovation and make it available and affordable to people as well. So it was something that keep pushing me. You have to finish it. You have to launch it. You have to tell people that this bread is available. When I looked back at that time and I say, yes, I was right, because the number of people that we helped in controlling diabetes, and the number of people that we help today in controlling their blood pressure, in controlling their diet plans, everything is just numerous. I think every creative idea or every new product or innovations uh, um, definitely need a stubborn, and you need a vision, and you need to be consistent on doing it, even if you got really some bumps on the road.
The thing that really, I respect you obviously going through those tough times, but I think if you ask any entrepreneur, any successful businessman, they all go through this. The reason why they're successful is because they got through it and didn't give up. There's that level of, as you mentioned, stubbornness. But the thing that I really tip my hat to you for is that doing it once, this is not your first business, this is your second business.
Correct.
Doing it the first time, sometimes your belly is full. You exit a venture, you're happy, your family okay for a while, you don't have to do it again. But where I find that I really respect your courage is that you went back and started another business in an entirely different field.
Correct.
A second time, it's very difficult to get the hunger. Are you crazy to start something a second time?
Basically, not really. I mean, probably the way I look at it is just I got a second chance in my life to prove that I can do something from scratch. And that's emotionally for me is just very important. And it's a lesson to my kids, it's a lesson to my close friends, to probably the whole people that who they know me that you can do it again. Of course, I've started it, of course, smaller, but the ambition is just very high.
You mentioned that you're applying a lot of the techniques that you studied or that you had experienced in your previous IT business, but you also mentioned you're including AI. How is AI fitting into
Uh,
baking bread?
when we looked at the machines, production lines that creating the bread, we found that this kind of a bread with this simple ingredient is very tough to have it in a normal production line, whatever expensive it is. It. So we looked me and my partner how we can even enhance it and how we can have it really made. And we found that there is a lot of modification and change from IT perspective to have the machine learns. So we use the technique of machine learning at the beginning. So the machine learns from the production how to adjust itself and how to make the bread. I mean, in a perfect condition. That's why it's tough when you look at this product and you see how it made. It's really there is an IT machine learning behind it. Now we are in a stage of using the AI, but that is for our next show.
I think what you're going to do is you're going to patent this AI for bakery, and I think you're going to sell it. I think that's what you're going to do, or lease it, even smarter.
Exactly.
Yasser, top five favorite car,
Any safe car.
any safe car.
Any safe car. I mean, probably BMW.
You're such an IT guy.
Of course.
All right, no problem. Favorite restaurants?
Japanese restaurant.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
yeah, I love Japanese.
In Japan?
restaurants. In Japan, of course, because it's totally different.
What's the best Japanese restaurant in Japan that you went to?
I mean, it's difficult to go wrong in Japan. I mean, every Japanese restaurant I went to and I had dinner, it was good.
It was good.
Fresh, good, nice. I mean,
You can't go wrong.
you can't go wrong.
Okay. Holiday destination.
That's a tough question because I have many destinations that I love to go. I used to go to Germany a lot for holiday.
Mm.
I love the country. I love people there. I love the atmosphere. Um, States as well. California, Florida the most.
Mm.
I mean that's for holiday. But other than this, I got the chance to visit half of the world.
Who is your role model?
Follow a lot of people. I follow their careers, their achievements, not only in terms of business, in terms of even art, in terms of any success. I think I get from my background, from my education and environment that I come from my background, that you have to listen to everyone and learn something from everyone. So I don't have really someone in particular I can speak about, but I have learned a lot from a lot of people.
Now, your favorite book, I know, is this one, Culture Map.
Yes. Yes.
I remember you telling me about this book.
Correct.
Why do you like this book so much? Like, why is it so important to you?
I am a kind of person who looks into small details when he visits the places. I love to deal with people, understand their culture, understand their thinking. I mean, just to enrich my personality. And then I come across this book, which summarize exactly the differences in cultures and put the cultures in the map of the world. For instance, when you go to Japan, all right, you observe some things, and sometimes you don't understand it, and you need someone just to tell you what they mean. I mean, I still remember the first time I landed in Japan, I had a presentation.
What year is this?
That was 2000, I think, 8, if I'm not mistaken, 2008. Then I had a presentation over there, and the room were full of colleagues from Japan, from other countries, and then I come across a slide where I was presenting that slide, and then when I finished, a Japanese colleague has asked me, "Can you go back and repeat it again?" I went back, I repeat, explaining the same slide again, and then when I finished, I thought I was clear enough, crystal clear. Then I moved on. They said, "Can you go back and explain the same slide for the third time?" I was just, I don't understand what's going on, to be honest. But the thing is, I went back and I explained it again. And they said, "Okay, great." Then I moved on. I finished my presentation. After the presentation, the break, I was asking one of my translator, basically, because at that time I had a translator. And I said, "Something really I don't understand. Why he asked me 3 times? Did I do anything wrong? I wasn't clear enough." No. He said, no. In Japan culture, when I ask you more, that means I like the slide and I like your answer, so I want to hear it again. It was total different.
But you're also telling me in Japanese business culture that there is respect. Respect is really
Correct.
big in Japanese culture.
Correct.
And that when you go into a business meeting, you can kind of see what the ranking of the people that's there. I think in Arabic culture, there's also one where you sit on the right side and all this type of thing. So you know definitely the Arabic culture.
Correct.
But when you went to Japan, when you go into the meeting, what did you notice? That
the more formal you are, and the more formal the whole meeting attendees are, the more successful meeting you have. People in suits, I mean, they are sitting in a proper way, taking notes. I mean, very formal. Whatever relation with the business associate in Japan. So this is the normal. But when you go to the Netherlands, for example, which as I have done a lot of business with the Netherlands, the more relaxed you are in a meeting, the more successful meeting you have. So you find people sitting in and relax. I mean,
no ties, no
ties,
jackets,
and probably drinking water or something. I mean, so it's really the opposite of the culture, and so many differences in the cultures.
In Japan, you send an email and you don't get a reply. And then you will send an email again and you're like, what are you doing? Are you ignoring me now? Like, that's it. Like, this is disrespectful. And you will say, "Hey, listen, reply to my email." But what's happening is that in Japanese culture is that if they don't reply to you, it means that the task is not done. Because if the email has given an instruction, they don't acknowledge your email. They just, in their mind, it's like, I have nothing to reply because the task has not been completed.
Absolutely.
I mean, that type of that's
Absolutely. When you invite someone or you ask someone for a task or attending something, and he said yes doesn't mean I agree. It means I do understand. If I will agree, then I will say yes, I confirm, or probably he will confirm later. So if you invite me for a dinner now and I say yes as a Japanese colleague, that means I do understand.
But it doesn't mean
it doesn't mean I'm gonna go accept. Yeah.
That's very good. No, that's why I like this.
I think this book has enriched my personality as well, because it gives me the key to understand a lot of cultures, to be honest.
I want to talk about, so I mentioned about people I know who've bought your bread and they swear by it, and they've lost, as I mentioned, 36 kilos. But I know that even before this, you lost weight previously before, but it wasn't anything to do with bread. It's a very simple health hack, because I know everyone is like being careful about their weight and everything. And I know you lost quite a lot of weight previously. Tell me again, I know what it is, but for everybody else, tell me how it was very simple and it works very well.
Basically, I mean, it was just a challenge to lose weight without changing my eating habits. So what I did basically is just to cut sugar, and I cut the bread, and I used this bread, and I lost over a year 12 kilos, a kilo every month without changing any eating habit.
But you also did the other thing, which you told me, is that when you would get a plate of food in any restaurant,
yes,
immediately you would just take it in half and put it. So you'd ask for 2 plates, an extra
correct,
plate. They bring the food, you take half, put it on the side, and that's how you just lost weight.
correct. And that was really an interesting experience, because I mean, at the first, I mean, I looked at the food that I'm eating, and I think, and this is a struggle of a lot of people who want to be on diet, because they said, I can't cut carb, I can't cut meat, I can't cut sugar, whatever it is. The thing is, the challenge that I put myself is, I want to continue eating exactly what I'm eating. So I don't want to cut anything, but I want to cut the meal into half. That's it. At the first 2 3 weeks, to be honest, it was difficult, because I mean,
Because your stomach is used to larger portions, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel always hungry, something like this. So I fill it with water. I try to get some juice or whatever. After 2 3 weeks, it was pretty normal. I lived my life very normal. My stomach capacity of accepting food has been reduced into 1/3 or
Mhm.
2/3.
Mhm.
Then even if you give me a big portion of food, I couldn't eat it, and I enjoyed the whole food everywhere, but a small portion.
Mm.
That was really interesting
I
experience.
think, bread, your bread, a wrap. I think a lot of your thinking behind just bread alone was not because everybody's eating sandwiches, but because in Arabic culture, I mean, the part of the world we are, bread is integral to everything. Like, you
Correct.
can't have any meal without some Arabic bread.
I think the market now is growing in terms of uh, the need of healthy bread. I mean, statistically, the healthy market size of healthy bread market size is growing 7% a year, which is numerous. The awareness of the people of having the healthy bread is just increased, especially after COVID. Um, uh, uh, this kind of bread, which is a loaves, I mean, similar to the tortilla, which is very famous in the Arab world. So they know how to use it, they know how to eat it. But amazingly, is the Mexican cuisine as well. They know this bread, and they know how to
Yes.
deal with it. I remember when I was in California and I was having some samples to my friends in Florida, sorry. Um, what surprised me is when I give it to my friends in the States, nobody asked me how to use this bread. They just open it and start
Yeah.
making wraps and they use it. So I would add to what you have said is that there is more market for this bread over the world, more than I was expecting. On the other hand, I'm trying now to have the same ingredients into different shape of the bread. I have started now the breadsticks. I mean, which is recent launch a few months back. The same ingredients, which is the simple ingredients of having oats or barley with no sugar, with no fat, with the same user experience of crunchy and tasty. So that could be another approach of the huge market that's ahead of me. Yes,
Um, Aside from business, everyone has a business, and they know that their exposure to their income is very limited to whatever the business generates. Personally, in terms of your financial management, what type of person are you? Probably low risk, because high risk is all in the business. But how do you usually invest your money? What's your financing strategy?
um, basically, I believe that investing in a business will always be returning, and it need more to invest and to more to invest. I'm a kind of person from personal finance, just who manage his need and the family needs on a proper way, without really having really more exposure of that extra expense, and invest all my money in the business, in the same business, or even thinking of a new business or a side business. So I would love to have to see my money ruling in a business, growing the existing business or open another opportunities and stuff like this. That's how I was since the beginning.
So if you're someone that's always in terms of invested in your business or businesses, what's your trick in terms of how to balance family and work at the same time? Because, it takes up a lot of your time running a business.
Right.
How do you find do you have a routine? Do you have a structure?
Yeah.
Do you have a balance?
I'm an early birds will catch worms, right? So I think this is what I learned from the school. I'm an early morning guy, number one. So I wake up early in the morning as a routine. I spend at least 1 hour with family, with kids. Relax my mind. I see my family. We sat in the breakfast, we discuss, and then I go to work. Um, uh, I give myself some time to think, some time alone, just to recap the whole day at the evening. The traditional answer to the balancing is I'm organized, I'm well organized. I'm not.
Mm.
I'm not. But I have a routine which is really fixed since years, that wake up early, spend some time with the family, go to work, finish your work on time, and then having my personal time with friends.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get very caught up in thinking that CEOs are very routine driven people and that, they work out and then they do their meditation, they write their journaling. But from my experience, and I know a lot of CEOs, is that there's none of that, right? There's none of that.
I have time for myself, half an hour or 1 hour to clear my mind, reorganize the whole day, review what I have done, plan for the next day.
You
So
plan for the next day?
yes, because fail to plan is a plan to fail.
Yeah, yeah,
That is my.
You plan, you write down the things you need to
course.
do. Okay, so
I
your
do.
mind is clear at the end of the day. What advice would you give to a young Yaser Akkad?
Well, number one, education is very important. Focus on education. Number two is be stubborn. I'll tell him, if you fall 1, 2, 3 times, doesn't matter, because you're gonna raise up again. Just doesn't matter.
What's your biggest regret?
I well, I should have started bakery when I'm 35. It took a lot of energy, physical energy from me. Mental energy, I'm good. I think I've been surrounded with a very great partner. I'm surrounded with a great team. But the thing is, probably if I am 35 when I started, I'll be more energetic in terms of physical, and I have enough time to see it growing and become a regionally and international business. Uh,
Okay. If your lowest low was the fact that you had a huge cost base you had all these people there, everything was in lockdown. I mean, COVID was bad for so many business owners.
Correct.
But COVID was really bad for business owners just starting out. If that was your lowest low, what was your highest high?
I haven't reached it yet. I haven't reached it yet.
You know that the high is yet to come,
Yes,
and you know that you're on the path.
I know. Honestly speaking, I have a big expectation always. I have a lot of plans to do. One of them is just to grow this business to be international, recognized by a lot of brands, recognized by consumers, by everywhere. Uh, Probably I'll go IPO. I'll go multinational someday. Uh, that is what I'm considering my high.
Have you ever been cheated in business?
Well, everyone.
Okay.
Like everyone.
Without telling us names, tell us a little bit about what happened. Because I don't think too many people, there's a lot of people who put successful people, entrepreneurs, CEOs on pedestals, and they think that they just wake up and they just do it. But not only are the times where we have things that are out of our control. But there's also times where there's competitors or there's business partnerships or there's things that go wrong. So tell us a little bit about that.
Without mentioning names, I think I got hit from a couple of people that I was considering a business friend. But um, life kept going, and we recover very soon from that.
And like you said, don't let this not be a lesson. You know, you're smarter for it the second time around.
Correct.
Right? It has to happen for you to avoid it the second time. So as you mentioned earlier, you know, at least if there's any positive that will come from it, at least take it on board and be ready for the next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the next thing to look out for with your industry, the space that you're in right now?
Well,
apart from the AI, obviously.
Of course, which is for the second show. Now, I'm looking really seriously of expanding the business into different product lines. I finished the R&D of a healthy croissant. I finished the R&D of healthy sliced bread, which is everybody knows, everybody is in need in this. And I finished the whole preparation of healthy snack bars and granola. And my latest development is the healthy tortilla, which is absolutely having tortilla without oil, without fat.
Because all tortilla wraps have oil in them?
Of course. So the thing is now, we are planning to have a huge expansion in Dubai. We are planning it for coming year to have all these product in line and be produced here in Dubai. And I wish very soon we will have more export outlet to different countries in the whole Europe and other African countries. UK production facility is my aim for the coming 2 years. That is what I'm planning to do, and doing the feasibility study now, because I think it's a very good market for my line of business.
Interesting. And one last question I want to ask you, because one thing that every CEO can sympathize with is that we travel a lot. You know, if you're not ready to travel extensively and with some discomfort, and you're going to be away from your family a lot, what's your travel hack? What's your tip for when you're traveling? If you travel so much, there must be something at some point, pre-journey, during the journey, after the journey, must be something that that now you do it all the time.
I mean, number one is, let's talk from business perspective. When you are traveling a lot, then you need to be in touch with the whole business. We have developed a sort of a communication between all the branches and all the businesses. So we keep in touch with all the businesses on a daily basis. From family perspective, of course, when I'm traveling, I'm being in touch with the family all the time and all the friends. But the thing is, I mean, when I'm visiting new places, my habit is just to read about it first. Look about the culture, because I love to mix with the culture. Try to look deep into what make this country success, because every culture is a success story. Every language is a success story. So when I travel to a new country, for example, for a business or for a pleasure, I look deep under the hood and I understand how these people are making their living, how they are making their society, what product they are using, what is their life habit, and that gives me really a wider spectrum and wider view of a lot of nations.
Interesting. So I'm going to just have a look at what you got here. So you brought us a gift box here.
Yes.
So what's this? Your VIP box? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, we call it a VIP box. Probably this is the first Various.
This is in every single supermarket in the
Correct.
GCC.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is everywhere. But a year ago, or 2 years ago, it wasn't
2 years.
even. Yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, it wasn't there. Now it's in every single supermarket,
Correct.
and everybody's been getting it in their deliveries and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So you gave away a lot of samples,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
But the fact is, it's like that's then that's where your customers are coming from now.
Yes, very true. I mean, we believe in a couple of things. Number one, I mean, we're giving free samples because we need people to try it. Because when you try the bread and you are in need of it, because think about someone who is in desperate to lose weight, who is having a diabetes problem or high blood pressure, and they don't know about this product. I mean, it's up to you if you want to buy it or not, you like it or not, it's your call. But the thing is, it's part of our responsibility to the society to make the awareness. So that's why we give away a lot of that. So you try it.
But as you mentioned, if it's going up, your acquisition or your client base is going up by what, 7 to 10% per month?
Correct, correct. Number two is, the VIB concept. I mean, even the concept of buying a bread online is just probably it's very recent to this region. I think Shark Blomberg picked it up the other day, and they interviewed me about how we changed the whole bread buying process into online. And to be honest, this VIB box concept, customers and consumers like it very much because they order the variety of the bread and they can have it in a proper way, and they can consume it at home. Today, I'm available on major of the online stores, not only my website. I'm available on Noon, 15, Amazon,
Gibson's.
Gibson's.
I know because I went to Gibson's and you were there as well. I can't escape you. You're everywhere.
Yeah. Talabat, I think Kareem. I mean, those online platforms are doing really very good, as well.
So I'm very happy for you. It's keep on growing. I'm gonna have to try this bread because you're never gonna let me go if I don't try this thing. But look, it's good to see you again, and it's good to hear how well you're doing, and especially as I know how tough it was in COVID for you. So I'm very happy for you.
Yes.
So it's good to see you, and thanks for your time.
Same here. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me a chance just to share some of my experience with you. And it would be a pleasure to meet you again.
We'll bring you back for part 2.
Okay, for part 2. Thank you very much.
Cheers.